Supermoon.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Supermoon Camp, exclusive crypto community and a pop-up camp that appears in different locations around the world and gathering crypto enthusiasts and thought leaders from crypto space under one roof in an amazing house. And today we're having our panel on NFTs for social impact from Miami. And I have three amazing guests who join us today. We have Matti Goedecke, we have Isaac Rodgin, and we have Pietro Moran. So guys, I will let you introduce yourself. Let's start with Matti.
I'm Matti, and I'm the co-founder of Ponyo-Inu, and I'm a former art director, commercial art director.
Isaac?
I'm Isaac. I'm the head of business development at Fuse, and excited to be here again at Supermoon Camp.
Yeah, Pietro Moran. I'm the crypto partnerships manager over at the Giving Block. And again, thanks so much for having me. Really excited to have the conversation today.
So guys, social impact is such a big industry, and it's really exciting to see that blockchain actually bringing so much value to the industry. And I wanted to start with one of like a negative sides of the industry today. So we just like helped people to understand how like industry is evolving and that it's not how it used to be in 2017 and 18. I wanted to start with charities. A lot of people, when they hear cryptocurrencies and charities, they always feeling like, oh my God, no, that's again some scam, right? People are so scared. And the question is how we can actually change it.
Well, I think the only way you can change it is by results. And so with Ponyo, we have had results so far in the expansions and what we're adding and bringing utility to our token, but also like, bringing exposure to other organizations that directly have a practical effect on their cause. And you can like just follow them, the money, or follow the blockchain, and you can just see the action and the results. So I feel like that's one way to do it, because just speaking about it and doesn't really, you can't just sell it with words, so you have to sell it with results.
Yes, for sure. And you guys working with the Coral Reef Association, can you tell us a little bit more? Because that's amazing. That's a really like great association, and you guys doing a job like to clean the ocean, right?
Well, Coral Restoration Foundation down in Key Largo, like nearby here, they've been rebuilding the reef down there, and they've been developing technology that they to repropagate it, and they have nurseries and labs where they create this technology, and then beyond the reef that they're working with, they are the technology is open source, and it's shared with other organizations and reef systems around the world. And like right now we're almost at $800,000 that we've raised for them through our token with auto impact investing, and that in itself is like a statement of how it can work, how speculation can, and Web 3.0 can deliver like progress.
Oh, it's really exciting. And I think Pietro also have a lot of things to add on the charity side, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, for those in the audience that might not be aware, the Giving Block is really at a high level enables over 1,000 nonprofits to accept donations in crypto. So I totally agree. We're a results-oriented firm. Like, we want to show that the call to action to the general crypto community is being heard. And we're on pace to process close to $100 million in crypto donations this year across the 40 assets that are on our platform. Now, when I think about, having been in the space in 2017, a lot of the trepidation, and some people say like PTSD, of a lot of projects not delivering on their initial, promises from back in the day. What we do is we work, quite diligently and do our due diligence on the projects we partner with. We have a very, high bar for entry in terms of the nonprofits we work with, but it's also baked into the product, right? We have automatic donation receipting. so people can check the chain, see the donation flow. Money's not getting siphoned off in different places. And, folks, even like at Ponyo, have built it into their smart contract. So there is no human element where you can, introduce uncertainty. That for us, I think, is a really big thing. And to the point of this panel, NFTs have been a huge driver of this push, right? A lot of people in the artistic community have been very good about giving back and promoting some sort of social good. And I think what's really exciting about that is it's really easy to do. People don't recognize, I don't think, how with one click you can make a donation the same way you're sending money between us from wallet to wallet. So I guess to say, like, there's an element of setting a high standard, showing that there's results, and continually spreading the message and having that call to action. Because the more people start getting comfortable with this, the more they tell their friends. The more we work with corporate partners that are making large scale donations. I mean, over $750,000 from Ponyo alone. That's proof in the pudding that things are working, and I think we'll continue to see that trend happen and continue. Yeah.
And like during like our like previous panels, we also like touched like a topic that our cryptocurrency payments are sometimes like so complicated, especially for people from outside of space. And I think like Isaac can like add a lot of information here, right? How can we make like a crypto payment flow easier, and how we can actually like help people to donate using cryptocurrencies?
I think generally kind of like there seems to be kind of a pyramid to make these work. I know we're trying to make it sound good, and that's not the best sound, but there needs like the base of kind of why I think crypto charity, there's a lot of opportunities here, is like transparency and accessibility, right? Access to the charities to give money easily and to see what's going on. In order for that to like, that kind of needs to be outlined, we need to see that there's problems in the current system. And then was like technology. And that's where like you were talking about like NFTs now existing and being part of this, on-chain transactions and tracking tools. We work with Goedecke, who puts money on Compound and then distributes UBI from the rewards on Fuse, right? So like DeFi yield, new technology built on top of like problems with transparency and accessibility. And then the final like piece at the top, which you guys like really hit on the head, was the impact. Like, where did we really like make the change? What's the new coral reef we've set up, or new research we've done? You said 100 million by the end of the year, and that's like mind blowing. So like the impact, and like now again, like especially with Fuse, with payments in the ecosystem, the technology is also there. That it's really easy to start to find the impact. So we have like Seville, Spain. We have a project that's giving out. It's one of the poorer neighborhoods in all of Europe, and they were doing cash handouts during COVID, and now they do like donations through Fuse, where people can go and pick up a food package instead of having like cash, and they can track it. They can understand who's using it, how much it's needed. They can get rebates on it. In Curacao, who have a fractionalized banking system, sometimes hard to get access to money, really quickly could integrate this to supermarkets and work with local people who didn't have necessarily the same banking infrastructure that we're working with. So it's like once we have that kind of outline of what's wrong with the accessibility, with the transparency, we can build the technology and hopefully make impact on all these things.
I really hope so. And like recently, I also started noticing like a lot of tendencies. Like people are looking for different charities for like a donation opportunities, but at the same time, we have so many companies that kind of like forcing you like to donate, right? Like in New York, whenever you go like to a supermarket or somewhere else, they're always asking like, would you like to donate? So people start like getting also angry because they don't want to be like forced into something, right? How do we like raise awareness like about charities? What is important so people like can just maybe go to one platform, like check out some information and actually like donate like kind of wisely to where they want to donate, and like maintain like relationships with the charity organization.
I mean, I can start with this one. What we've done in our strategy at the Giving Block is we want it to be as non-coercive as possible, right? We want to be there with the infrastructure, with the marketing campaigning, with the tools and educational material for folks to approach this process of donating in crypto at the speed that is appropriate to them. And that's from our retail audience, folks that are in the NFT space, maybe artists who are donating their art or donating the proceeds of their auctions, all the way up to our large corporate partners who are donating off their balance sheets or their corporate treasuries or something like that. So I think the point is to approach the industry and our relative audiences with an education first mindset and saying, here are the 1,000+ nonprofits that you can choose from, right? We don't want to strong arm you into one particular, nonprofit. We want to give you access to as much as possible, and people love variety. I think that allows for people to feel comfortable in the product offering, and then you could custom tailor, your donation to what you want. We are also helping to facilitate those introductions to the nonprofits themselves, because oftentimes people want to donate more than just their crypto. They want to donate their time. I know you mentioned you might be going down to Key Largo this weekend. This is more than just send money to an address and walk away. I think we're all very thoughtful about how do we maximize the social impact around this. And I think it's, at the end of the day, offer as much choice as possible in a transparent way with good marketing around it that shows that this isn't an industry that's, fly by night, that we're here to stay and really.
What is the transparent way?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, the transparent thing is super important. It's important for our nonprofit partners who want to know that the donor base is obviously of like solid provenance, but then it's also important for the people donating large sums of money. I mean, for example, we processed one of the largest NFT donations ever. It was a $3.5 million Ethereum donation from an artist at Art Blocks, and that went to Doctors Without Borders Australia. People, wouldn't feel comfortable throwing around $3.5 million if we didn't do, our utmost to ensure that the process was vetted and secure. So we hope to let the results speak for themselves, and then offer our time to educate anyone who wants to come and talk to us.
But do you feel like it's easy for people to actually like track all these transactions? Because I mean, like we're in a space, right? We understand it, right? But how people like outside from space can actually track and like understand that there's a real transaction on the blockchain? Like, do you like come like along like some weird questions from people like asking you like they're not understanding anything?
Yeah, well, I'll say this briefly because I know these two have a lot to offer. But we do a lot in terms of, hand holding and getting people up to speed in terms of the education. Of like one thing I was telling you before, we had one of our nonprofit partners come in and, in their marketing spell Bitcoin as 2 words, right? Like people who aren't in the space don't always understand kind of the lingo. So we leverage social media quite a lot, because any nonprofit can put out a tweet thanking you for your donations, thanking you for your donations. There's that public accessibility that we have now, where we're kind of taking out all these middlemen and saying, okay, we can directly interact with, nonprofit and donor, and in a way where people know where the money's going. But I defer to you guys too, because you've been on the forefront of this.
Well, in the first days of our launch, CRF got a lot of emails or even calls like to authenticate, like they actually were receiving it. But now, Ponyo, as far as partners go and donors go on their site, we're like above Disney and we're above Royal Caribbean, so again, it's like the results speak for themselves. And yeah.
Have you ever faced with people like when you just like started a project and you would come like explain like some information about a project, and people would be like, oh no, it's like seems like so scammy or something like that?
So,
Have you like faced it?
My immediate community in the space, when the Inus were popular, doing their thing, I was like, why don't we just like harness this power, the power of the meme or the power of the anime token, and like there's so much volume, because you could just see be like 10 million, even 100 million volume, and then just imagine 3% of that every day going. And then I was like, well, what if I change the term from charitable donation or whatever, and just call it auto impact investing, like kind of forcing, if you want to play with us or you want to speculate with us, while doing so, you're going to have to also, contribute to this. And I think that, I think that was one way to, kind of change the conversation again, because obviously just donating directly through the giving block is very altruistic, but there's those that want to speculate and like, get potential gains. So I think both have their value, and
I think it's like really amazing way because you guys are doing so much like impact in the industry, right? And like it would be like very upsetting if people just don't understand it at the very beginning because of everything that was happening in the industry. So that's why like we're trying to figure out a way to change the whole like perception of a social impact. And yeah, Isaac, I know that you like guys also been working with other countries, right, with their developing economies. Can you share like a few more like use cases?
Yeah, well, so it's interesting. We were kind of talking earlier about like the funnel of getting funds into charities. And there's actually two kind of very different viewpoints here. One is give them all the information and all the options, and one is like drive passion and gamification about a very specific topic. Uh, Specifically, for a retail audience, like you mentioned earlier, they want to see a list and have it be very simple. But for the crypto degen audience, like it's just a different type of donor today that you're approaching. So like specifically in Fuse, we're mostly working with local communities. This is actually a cool project. Coco Vinny, who makes these, it's like biodegradable caps made of corn, and they're currently sourced in Vietnam, but we're going to be moving some of this to Puerto Rico, Costa Rica, Hawaii, trying to have like locally grown coconuts. And we're going to probably be minting some NFTs where people can basically create these create like an NFT, and like yeah, you can watch your tree grow, and when you buy it, you basically pay for the care of the tree over the next 25 years. And again, like it sounds funny and cool and small and like one thing, but when there's like thousands of people being incentivized, gamified, excited about this, and you have forests of trees coming up, like economies and jobs and better air and good coconuts. So like really exciting, I guess, to just see very different approaches to like a huge ecosystem that has a lot of potential for change.
I'll say this too. I think it's important that we cater to both, right? We don't stay within our bubble on crypto Twitter, etc. We also, pull in new folks, because I think one thing that we've probably all witnessed in our various roles is that the adoption of NFTs or of crypto generally, some of the first people or some of the first interactions people have with crypto just at all is through nonprofits, because they saw their favorite nonprofit getting partnered up with a Ponyo-Inu, for example. Or we work with Woody's NFTs, for example. They donated $220,000 through us to a nonprofit that planted 800,000 trees, right? People don't necessarily need to care about Bitcoin or Ethereum per se, but they do care about a social cause that means something to them. We're just enabling, that donation flow in an easy way and building the toolkit. So like one of my teammates, Michael Early, who's like our resident NFT whisperer, he coined the term degenerosity, right? That's kind of what we want to enable, because folks in the crypto space will continue to do what they do. So we want to be there for them. We also want to be there for, my mom, who doesn't do crypto, but she might like a profile picture of a coconut or a tree or whatever.
NFT.
An NFT, there you go. And she might buy that for fun, right? And donate something to a cause.
No, I completely agree. And I actually like the simple use case, right? Like people see like an NFT, they see an actual tree, right? And it's like NFT. It's something simple for people just to understand, right? If they're outside of a crypto space, they don't need to understand what is Bitcoin, right? They have no idea. Maybe they never came across even I don't know, a banking payments, right? So they don't understand it. But that's also one of the reasons NFT technology brought so many new people to a space. And I'm really curious to learn about other use cases outside of charity. And I think, Pietro, you have a lot of examples, right? With the social impact projects using NFT technology.
Well, so yeah, and actually this is, not to shill on your podcast too hard, but, we have a lot of, campaigning that we do around NFTs in particular, because this year it's been an enormous groundswell of support for nonprofit causes. Even next Tuesday, we actually have something called NF Tuesday, which is a day of giving campaign similar to the traditional Giving Tuesday, but really for our NFT partners to shine, for artists to, get their work out there and raise awareness for themselves, right? It's like mutual brand awareness. Folks who want to donate can find artists and projects that are doing great things. And then on the flip side, folks can, share their products and services with our audience as well. So, we have these call to actions, especially at the end of the year when people are thinking about the tax implications of their, current, liabilities and whatnot. So yeah, social impact, in relation to all that is just, I think, the logical conclusion of, you look at it from a tax standpoint, like, would you rather give money to the IRS or would you rather give it to your favorite organization? That's an easy, I hope that's a rhetorical question, right? But, you never know. And so, yeah, like you say, it's not just about, all like crypto things. It's about also empowering organizations, like for, small and medium-sized charities, for example, like have a really, really good time and experience using us because the crypto community doesn't recognize the amount of impact that they have. So it's so asymmetrical. We had a donation to charity called, or a nonprofit called Orangutan Outreach from Bored Ape Yacht Club. I think it was, more than their annual like donation, like budget or expectations by over a factor of like 3. And so when those people get involved, like they start to go out into the world and do all the really good things and, make the change. And, we're just here as, kind of the backbone of that. But I mean, you guys are also working on fantastic stuff. I'd love to learn more and, hear how we can help as well.
Yeah. Next week we'll be launching our NFT Launch Pad, which we are reaching out, and we've already established some relationships with organizations that go beyond the ocean and have like more, because the community is always asking, why are we not donating to hunger? Why are we not like food deserts? Why are we not looking at civil rights and all that? So we want to like give our community and give these organizations, along with Join Hang, which they are like a really great NFT creators, and partnering with them and utilizing the Giving Block, and also bringing gamification to these NFTs, where a majority of the raise, like over 50%, goes to the organization. And I think bringing exposure and also utilizing and leveraging their network to bring exposure to our platform, will become like a growing like system that keeps giving, but also both to our community and to their community.
And like raising awareness.
Yeah. And most interesting thing is in most media, you can't shill a project. You can just, speak on it. But the organization and CRF, for example, you can write so many different stories and get so much coverage that, a crypto project otherwise would not get in traditional media. And so it's, mutually beneficial. And I find that to be like a really interesting way to like go forward. And
I was really excited to hear when Coral Reef Association like joined you guys. It's really like it's a big name from industry. It's raising awareness from both sides, as you mentioned, like a crypto community, and we have also like people outside of crypto space getting more information and getting more awareness. And just before we like moving to like final remarks, Isaac, do you have any like interesting use case within the social like impact industry, like for like NFTs that you would like to share, except for NFTs?
NFTs. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much stuff happening. It's really hard to keep up. There's like for like dog shelters. There's one. Friend Tony Chen was working on a therapeutic cancer drug that I think after like years has just gotten approval for like human trials, and like now he's fundraising for the next stage in NFTs, and then you can actually donate your NFT so that someone can get a free trial. So like sky's the limit. It's really hard to keep up, and I don't know. That's a beautiful thing when it's moving too quickly, and again like different tools from like payments to connecting the charities to the money to specific organizations focused on a specific cause and a community. There's a lot of exciting stuff coming soon.
No, that's for sure. It's really great, like to see that industry is evolving. And guys, just like one last thing, I wanted to ask you to share an answer for one question with just one phrase. What will it take to raise awareness within like social impact industry? Just like how to say how to change the perception of people.
One word.
Yeah,
Phrase.
just think in one phrase.
Oh,
Yeah, in one
phrase.
phrase, not in one word.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Not in one word, in one phrase. Yeah, like how can we change perception like of people about crypto and social impact, so they're not like scared of scams?
It's produce results.
Yeah, I think the gamification, like getting them excited, emotionally involved.
Yeah, I'd say just try it out. Don't necessarily have to make a large donation, right? But go through the process. Have some skin in the game, and I think you'll love the results. And if you want to work with us, we're happy to help assist with it.
That's really great. Thank you guys so much for joining today, and really excited to learn about all these projects. And I just always happy to hear more updates. And thanks everyone who's watching us today and joined the Supermoon Camp. See you at the next panel.